freaking out so much.
Alright.
Makes me sad.
It's not Saturday, is it?
No.
The fuck?
Is it?
It can't be. It is.
No way.
That's so weird.
Saturday the 9th.
Huh.
Yeah. It's true.
That's weird. Well, alright. My brain is, I guess, dumb. It's Saturday, January 9th, 6:43 p.m. And we are, what's the name of this place? Pine. It's not Pine. It's some campsite.
Yeah, I think it's Pine Island.
Oh, you kept saying that, though, but the Pine
Big
Island was just
Pine.
like a generic thing that they called.
Well, yeah, that's what a lot of them were called.
They're most actless mattresses. Man, what a day.
What a day.
Really hoped that things were going to get better, and they did for a good period of the day. Like, I was up and hopeful, and I was like, you know, it's just crazy the difference between ankle deep water, shin length water, mid-thigh, knee. Like, it really affects your speed and your stability. And I mean, if either one of us had fallen in today, we'd have fucking lost our shit. Either one of us would have been so mad.
I find it amazing that we have gone this far and neither of us have fallen in.
That's because we're good hikers.
Yeah, and we have trekking poles, 2 trekking poles, and rely on them well.
Yeah, well, it's because we have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Otherwise, for sure, we would have gone down.
Yeah, and falling down in this would mean complete submersion.
Yeah.
Potentially even your head underwater.
Possibly.
Depending on how you fell and how fast you're able to get up.
And what section you were in, for sure.
Backpack would be soaked. Everything in it would be soaked.
Water would be compromised. Sawyer would have been submerged.
Yeah.
Oh.
That didn't happen. So let's talk
No.
about what did happen today.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
We woke up, I don't really remember.
Well, we were camping next to
Alright, so you wanted to bring that up?
Mountain House last night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we talked about him last night.
I think we did.
Maybe we did.
No.
We said we were camping with someone, but
Yeah, his name was Mountain House.
his name was Mountain House. We learned that today. We keep flip-flopping with him, although I think we've surpassed
We've had
him.
our last and final flop of the flip.
Yeah. But yeah, he was up by like 4:30 or 5
Mm-hmm.
and was packing up his stuff, and he was right next to us. And
Close enough to where his light was like illuminating our
Yeah.
tent on the inside.
And then also he spent 2 hours to pack up his stuff and was like crinkling every single bag that he had in his bag somehow. It
Yeah.
was just so loud and very, very close to us, so there was no escaping. I don't hold it against him. He's doing
Aw.
his thing, but I didn't sleep much between 5 and I think it was around 7 or 7:30.
Yeah, that we actually got up.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
very
'cause that was when
cloudy
he
this
left.
morning. We were waiting for the sun to peek over because we're watching the mosquitoes in between
Congregate.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
were like, we don't have to go out until the sun comes up because then maybe they'll go away.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
No.
They don't. They live out here too.
Yeah, apparently. But yeah, it was pretty bad this morning with the mosquitoes, so we
Mhm.
tried to eat and, do all our stuff
Yeah.
as quickly as possible so we could go out into the wonderful day that was ahead of us. And yeah, I mean, there's really not too much to say. You really have to just experience it. But-
Yeah.
So I want to go ahead and break the chronology real quick.
Mhm.
Because we're here with another guy named Forrest. His trail name is Forrest.
Oh, really?
Forest, though.
Wow.
But he said this is the highest water level in 30 years for this park.
Yeah.
So that's an important thing to set the
Yeah.
table for this hike that we've done so far.
Yeah.
He also said, and we've heard this echoed before, this is the hardest section of the Florida Trail,
Mm-hmm.
which is very hopeful and good to hear.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't like the idea of quitting anything prematurely or before I said I would finish. But if this was like a 200-mile stretch and we had to do this for a
Dude.
couple of weeks, I'd actually probably take a month to do 200 miles of this. Because,
Yeah.
We've
done
barely 30 miles. We've done 27. We've done 26.3 or 7
yeah.
or something. And it's taken us 2 days. And
Yeah.
it's taken all day.
Yeah. We did 26 going into Florida City on the
Mhm.
road walk.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that in like 7 hours.
Mm-hmm. ideal conditions
Yeah.
in a certain
Flat and
sense.
straight.
No water.
But dude, it's really unbelievable that I don't think there's any way that we could describe it that
Just try to look at Allie's Instagram videos and pictures, but yeah, just
that
slogging.
can like display how insane this is, and
Mhm.
the fact that this is a trail and it's open to
It's
hikers
pathetic.
right now.
Yeah,
is
it's
like
irresponsible.
insane.
Yeah, I mean, I would be bummed if it was closed because I would be curious what I was missing.
Mhm.
But honestly, this is like, if you came through here and you weren't a very strong-willed person or you didn't have a partner, I think it would be very dangerous for a normal person just to think that they can come out here
Yeah,
without much experience.
Absolutely. So many potential hazards
Yeah, a lot that we have taken
skipped
for
out
granted.
on, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen any
The
venomous
animals.
snakes, although we probably,
Yeah.
There's probably been a lot more stuff around us that we could have recognized. Again, like the guys here at this place where we are now,
Mhm.
talking about the gator slips and stuff, like
oh my god. Yeah.
stuff that we just don't know about because we're
It's
northerners.
so scary. Like, there are some sections where it's just like darker palm fronds growing close to the water and everything is a little
Mhm.
more closed in. We had like a long time of like in the very short dead trees, very like sparsely populated, so it was just very bright. You could see all around you. But there's sometimes when you go into the forest, still in like thigh deep water,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, we are literally just walking through like the alligator's habitat, and I totally expect to just like look right about where I'm stepping and see like the scaly tail or something. And
I think you would see it before that, though.
I mean, I would hope so, but like you can't see much sometimes, especially if you're the person in the back. You can't see anything.
You have to just rely. It's like when you draft off somebody, you have to just rely that the person in front of you is doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
When you're drafting, your job is to not hit their back tire, and when you're the person in the front, your job is
Yeah.
to make sure that
You're taking the best.
the best line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's an element of trust
Mhm.
there.
And we do
LMNOP.
well together. I feel like the first half of the day we were all separate, like because we had flip flopped with Mountain House a lot, and
Yeah,
then you were going fast, and I was like, I'm not going fast because I'm gonna slip and fall into the water.
yeah,
And then Mountain House was behind us.
yeah. We passed him. I guess. Did we see him? We didn't see him after that one place, did we? That camp place.
We did when we stopped in the woods.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Right.
and you wanted to run away, and I was like, no, we should talk to him. We did leave him a note at one of the camps that we were pushing on because we had the feeling that he wanted to do an area called the Black Lagoon together.
Mm-hmm.
But if he was worried about blazes and like directions, I'm pretty sure he's fine. I mean, he came out here by himself, so
He has got
he couldn't
hooks.
have relied on us to
Yeah.
hike with him.
Yeah.
I don't think there was necessarily that expectation, but I was like kind of concerned because he was talking about his stories of being out here last year. He was
Yeah.
so unprepared,
Mm-hmm.
and that was like a dry year,
Right.
and now it's insane, and we're practically swimming, and there are
Mhm.
venomous animals swimming around us in
Mhm.
the water.
Mhm.
I'm just like, please be careful out here.
He would have been so slow to hike with, though. Like,
Yeah.
I can't even imagine it. He was, when I passed him the first time, or maybe the second time, I don't know, there was just an area where I was like, you can go so much faster. I mean, anyone can hike their own hike, it doesn't matter, but the idea of us trying to wait for him would have just been
Right.
pure torture. We wouldn't have made it here.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're prioritizing what we need to do to get through this because it's hard enough
Right.
doing that. We don't need to babysit people.
Right, especially men that are older than both of us.
But he is like 5'1".
Yeah, we love him, though.
Yeah,
But man-
he's like a Florida Trail Compton kind of. He was from Wisconsin.
Yeah. Compton's better than him, though.
Oh, for
the
sure.
record.
And faster.
Yeah, for sure.
We love you, Compton.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, he's gone. We've moved on, and it was insane.
Being realistic and being fair, what percentage of this trail do you think was not underwater that we've done so far? Because I want to say
15%.
I was going to say 80% of it's underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say of that 80%, maybe 60% of it is like extremely difficult to go through.
Yeah.
For
like,
people who are healthy and fit and good
it's
hikers.
knee-deep water, and then at least like 2 to 3 inches of mud at the bottom, which depending on if the mud's covering a tree root or
Yeah.
a limestone. There's a bed of limestone under the swamp,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's exposed, but it often has holes in it,
Mhm.
which you can fall through. But anyways, this mud is super slippery, and if it's on a root or a rock and it's slanted, you just slip, and there's no solid footing anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're just like stumbling / swimming / walking. And that's what we did for 15 miles today, and we're
Yeah.
exhausted, and it took all day.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy, too, because I really wanted us to get all the way to 75 so we could just be done
yeah.
with it. But, you know, now that I think about it, how you didn't want to because of the animals. And he said that Alligator Alley is called Alligator Alley because there's a bunch of alligators by that alley.
Yeah.
It probably would have been... It could have gotten killed, possibly.
Yeah.
But,
I'm
hey,
terrified of what's out here in the swamp, and we're just wading through the habitat.
we're
there
like
are
running
points,
through it, honestly, at this point.
Yeah, but it's so crazy because one of the trail signs, I don't know if that was today or yesterday, one of the trail signs we saw, like, foot travel welcome. It had a little hiking figure, a little mountain biking figure, which I don't know when you would ever be able to mountain bike through here. But it also had a canoe,
Mhm.
which means that this trail can be done in a fucking canoe.
Mhm.
And also we're walking and there's like little fish on the trail
Yeah.
in front of us. I'm like, this is the only fish crossing on the trail I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It's so deep. Fortunately the water's clear in some parts if you're in front.
Clear enough, for sure.
Clear enough, but insane. Unbelievable. Like, you really just have to do it for yourself.
But don't.
But don't, because it's not fun.
But if you do want to experience something that's 30 years in the making, this is it. This is the place to be.
Yeah.
But you need to have a good constitution and a good hiking partner or something.
Yeah,
'cause-
and don't wear sandals because it cuts up your feet.
Yeah, that's true.
And then
too.
you have blisters for the next day of hiking. But yeah, we're peeing in the same water that we're walking in, and then drinking
yep.
and then getting all over our bodies and our open wounds. So we'll see what comes of all of that. But that's not even a concern right now because we're 4 miles away from 75, and that means a dry road.
Yeah.
It's going to be so nice.
Yeah.
Which is crazy if you listen back to probably some of our clips not long ago. We were just like, we can't wait to get to the trail. Like, road walking
It's going to feel
sucks.
so good. Yeah, to walk on actual like dirt again.
Yeah.
But I did not anticipate swimming, for sure.
Insane. There were definitely some parts today where I fell in a hole or something and the water was like up to my hips.
Yeah.
My shorts were soaked all day and I have very short shorts.
Yeah. I guess 10, 11. Yeah. I don't think my shorts got submerged at any point. Me being 3 inches taller, however much I am.
Yeah.
But I certainly, from just the vigorousness of trying to go as fast as you can through water and just fucking get it everywhere.
Yeah. Splashing.
Yeah.
It's loud. Can't talk.
No, this is not something that I would really ever feel comfortable with doing alone, too.
Yeah.
So thanks, babe.
Yeah, I'm happy to be out here.
Yep. Well, thanks.
This was a better day for me,
Wow.
mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like touching my jaw.
Oops, don't touch that jaw.
I wouldn't say it was fun, but there were little parts where I was like grooving to a good song and I was like swimming through the water. I was like, you know what? This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Well,
Unless we come back.
experience. We're never coming back here. This is insane.
Yeah.
Like maybe for a day hike to walk out 3 miles and then turn around and.
It would be interesting to come back here at some point when it's not so fucking flooded.
Yeah.
Just to see what it was supposed to be like.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't want to ruin another pair of shoes after. I think my shoes, there's a lot of images that I remember from today, and I wish I could just, I guess, in a way, regurgitate them all without having to go through all of the stories that I have to tell for them to make sense in the context of the day. But, man, it was just a crazy day.
Yeah.
This is a crazy trail. And again, if it was any longer like this
section.
I'd just be like, man, this is the fucking stupidest thing.
What if
Like-
this was like a 60-mile section instead of a 30?
I would just feel like the trail maker would deserve to go to jail. Like, I feel like a lot of people say stuff about how the people who made the AT are like
Lol.
gluttons for pain, and like
Yeah.
they're like, why do you have to go up and down when you could just go straight across? I always just like, well, that's just the way the trail is. But this is like stupid.
Yeah.
This is like if you're making a trail and the land has been surveyed, and once in 30 years for the water to be this high is not. I mean, that means it could happen a few times
And
in a human
winter
life.
is the dry season
Yeah.
in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's just in terms of, like, precipitation,
Mm-hmm.
but where else would the water come from? Like, it's not salt water, so it's not tides and stuff. It just...
It comes from Lake Okeechobee.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what they were saying.
Oh.
This is all because we're
someone
south of it.
released all of the fucking dams, and it's just pouring out because...
Yeah, there's a lot of details that we could and probably
Dude.
should know about everything that's happening around us. But
Dude, we just learned today what a cottonmouth looks like.
yeah, they look pretty.
Poisonous water snake that
Yeah.
is very prevalent here and is very aggressive
Yeah,
and will bite you if you get close to
yeah.
it.
I was kind of hoping that most things aren't very don't back down-ish.
It's also called a copperhead.
No, cottonmouth.
Cottonmouth.
Yeah, copperhead is a thing. I think that's like a type of.
No, he said...
It's water moccasin or cottonmouth because when they open their mouth, it looks like they have cotton in them. But copperhead is also a snake. It's probably out here.
Another poisonous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
second to
this
Australia.
guy said it's
My
second
toenails are
to
falling off.
Australia with the amount of poisonous things that can kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Or just things that can kill you, alligators included, which we
Plants.
also had a long conversation about, and I'm
Yeah.
even more terrified of these
Well,
fucking dinosaurs that live out here, and we're just like swimming through their little territories.
hopefully, again, he said that I think the last mile, so we're
Mm-hmm.
3 miles away from the last mile, and the last
Yeah.
mile he said would be a dirt road. And I'm guessing it's maybe like on a levee kind of thing or something. I
Yeah.
have no idea. But
there's no idea for anything about
Yeah.
this trail.
hopefully, hopefully that last mile, if the alligators are supposed to become more prevalent as you get
Mhm.
closer to 75, then hopefully this kind of fucking dumbass
We
bullshit.
won't be swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, 75, they had to have surveyed it so that it doesn't get flooded all the time, because that's like
Yeah.
a major road of traffic between west and eastern Florida. So, yeah, I've been holding out. I don't know. You said today like something about me reaching my breaking point. And I listened to the clip pretty recently of my New York City bike ride.
Yeah.
But that was like my initial reason for wanting to do that ride, was because I was like, here I am doing like 300 miles a week and I'm not broken already.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, I'm a little bit like burnt out emotionally from doing this, but I've never gotten to a point where my physical like state like demanded that my emotional state become like erratic and irrational.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, either bursting out with anger or bursting out with tears.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's another reason why I still like doing stuff like this, because I've never hit that point. I just picture myself like in like somewhere in the Appalachian Mountains, in the cold rain, somewhere between shelters, too far to go back, too far to go forward, and then just like collapsing in like the fetal position, like crying with my hands on my head and like not knowing if I should go forward or backward, and being maybe lost, or my phone's broken, or I feel like that's the only time that I would like really get to that point, unless I got bit by a snake or an alligator. But
You got pretty mad today at some points.
well, that's how I just deal with the little things.
Yeah.
I mean, because it is a shitty situation. I'm not saying that hiking out there is like preferred, but in a certain way it is, and it's hard for me to explain, I guess, why I can hate something but still love it. Mm-hmm. And I think, I don't know, it's still, I don't know, because I mean, I've had so many bike rides that were really hard, and I didn't ever, even though they were really hard, and I would do stuff the whole time, like what I did today, where I was like, I can't get this fucking bottle into my goddamn backpack. Like, that's like the release valve for the dissatisfaction that I have for something that I ultimately love. It's just in the moment, it's like kind of difficult and frustrating, but that's the way those things are. I don't really enter a 170-mile bike ride thinking it's going to be sweet. It's like, well, I know I can get this done, but I know I'm going to have to go through a lot of shit to do it. and this kind of hiking is very similar, but very
Yeah.
different. It's a different type of endurance that I've never had to utilize before,
Yeah.
because there is an element of, like, just being out of place, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're not water creatures, and we're surrounded by water creatures.
Yeah.
We're, like,
That are
definitely,
poisonous
we're out of our
and
element
terrifying.
completely. Yeah. We can't go fast. We can't. It's all that we can do just to not fall with every step
Yeah.
forward, and that's, like,
But
ridiculous.
we are, like, still making these miles and making
Yeah.
a decent enough pace. I think at one point you said we were, like, 2 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I think I could look it up.
But, yeah, it's hard to feel strong and fast.
When the elements are literally slowing you
Yeah.
down. That's the only thing that is slowing us down.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, coming off of Key West, we were doing, like, close to 4 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Yeah.
is a huge, huge downgrade.
It's insane. But,
It's great. We love it.
well, I had a better day than yesterday.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Harder, longer, but
I think I need
what
to
are
do
you gonna
some.
do?
I need to do some doctoring to my toenails. I feel like
Oh, really?
I think I have at least 2 that are falling off right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, they were already kind of questionable after the road walk, but now being in water for
Yeah.
18 hours of the past 48.
Yeah, my feet are finally drying out.
Mhm.
And I have cuts all over them. from
Yeah,
when
yours
I
yours
wore
looked worse than
sandals.
mine.
Yeah, they're
I don't know
really
what's wrong with you.
painful. I have soft skin.
I guess so. I thought you
I
walked
have
better than
bad
me.
skin.
We did 14.6 miles today,
Wow.
and we started at 8:40, and it was 8 hours of moving time. Our average speed was, let's see, 1.7.
Wow.
I don't
Miles
know.
an
I don't know if
hour.
that's moving time or if that's total time, but 1.7. Yesterday, our average time. What? What do you smell?
Smells like chat.
Ew.
Mm.
Yesterday, our average speed was 1.4.
Wow.
So,
And today we felt like we were more in a groove.
Yeah.
And, like, trying to...
well, we didn't have to spend like a lot of time wondering if there were going to be alligators everywhere. Because after 11 miles and not seeing any alligators at all, it's like, well, the best thing to do is to get out of here, and
Yep.
the worst thing to do would be to spend more time here. So let's not look around. Let's just fucking run. But
running for our lives through the jungle.
yeah,
It's like Jurassic Park.
if that service plaza has beer tomorrow, it's going to be a problem. We're just going to end up sleeping in the back of that place or something. But yeah. Anything else?
No?
How do your legs feel?
A little sore, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to take an Advil, though.
Do you even have them in here?
Nope.
Yeah. It smells like chub.
But yeah,
Well,
crazy.
yeah, it'll be another day of nearly probably 12 hours of sleep almost.
Mm,
So,
love that.
for sure. Faux show.
We'll see what tomorrow holds.
Can't wait. Can
Every
only get
day's an
better.
adventure out here.
Can only get better.
But I'm very proud of us.
Yeah.
This is like really, really hard, and not many people would or could do this.
For sure.
And we're strong, and we're doing it, and we're being safe, and it's badass.
Yeah, man.
It'll be a good story.
Yeah. It already is.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye.
No.
Get burritos and beer tomorrow.